Stephen and Charles coming back to you now for about a minute while they reset the stage for Kurt Weill. Charles, that piece is kind of jaunty, sarcastic.
Oh, yes. And anything you can think of in that regard. And as I mentioned to you just before we went on the air, of the 18 pieces in the original facade, the most extraordinary ones he did not put in the two suites because it requires the words. And the words to those things are just so amazing. But still, 20 years old. Where did it come from? But then I guess that's genius, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of genius, we have Kurt Weill coming up with his Seven Deadly Sins. We talked about how this was set by Bertolt Brecht in that mythical land of Louisiana. But it might be interesting for the viewers who have never seen or heard this work before just to know where all the things take place. There are 7 scenes that are bracketed by a prologue and an epilogue. And the sins in order are sloth, which takes place who knows where. But then pride is in Memphis, anger is in Los Angeles, gluttony is in Philadelphia, lust is in Boston. And this is an interesting, greed was originally set in Tennessee, but for some reason after Weill died in 1950, they changed the location to Baltimore. And then the last one is Envy, and that is San Francisco. And when you hear this whole thing, when you look at the words, when you look at what Brecht was trying to say, I think what he was saying is that, yes, there are all these sins that are out there all the time, but to him, the greatest sin of all was capitalist ambition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he had no use for higher-ups and bigwigs and whatnot, as you know. And in their most famous collaboration, the Three Penny Opera, there's this wonderful line where things play down and one character says to another, "First feed us, then you can lecture us about morality." Yes, Kurt Weill was quite amazing. He had this duality of musical output. He was first and foremost a concert composer who was writing music that was very harsh, very dissonant and avant-garde. And then when he hooked up with Brecht, he adopted this style of theater which was suited to the more popular aspects that they were trying to do. But then when he left Europe and came to this America, he completely divorced himself from the concert music and instead concentrated on theater pieces. But what's interesting is that the theater music he wrote in Europe is quite different from the theater music that he wrote here in America, but he created a whole new genre of musical theater, some of the most beloved pieces that have ever been put on the American stage, but that was this man who sadly died when he was only 50.
Wow. And looks like we're just moments away from the music, so we will turn it back to the stage for Kurt Weill's Seven Deadly Sins.
So my sister and I left Louisiana, where the moon on the Mississippi is a shining ever. Like you always hear in the songs of Dixie, we look forward to our homecoming, and the sooner the better. And the sooner the better. It's a month already since we started for the great big cities where you go to make money. In 7 years our fortune will be made, and then we can go back. In 6 years would be much nicer. Now our mom and dad and both our brothers wait in old Louisiana, and we'll send them all the money as we make it. For all the money's got to go to build a little house down by the Mississippi in Louisiana. Right, Anna? Yes, Anna. She's the one with the looks. I am realistic. She's just a little mad. My head is on straight. But we're really one divided being. Even though you see two of us, and both of us are Anna. Together we've but a single past, a single future, one heart and one savings account, and we only do what is best for one another. Right, Anna? Yes.